Hello and welcome. So, I'm going to be doing something a little different today. I'm going to do another acrylic pour, but I'm not using a regular canvas. I'm going to use this wood panel. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and just sprayed it with gray primer. If you're going to do any pouring or any kind of painting on wood, you really want to prime it first. I mean, you can use gesso or you can use just regular spray primer like I did here. Normally I use gesso, but I wanted to try some spray primer this time because I haven't really used that for acrylic pouring yet. The reason you want to use primer is so your paint will actually adhere better to the wood, because wood is very porous, and a lot of the moisture content in the paint will soak into the wood. And actually a lot of times it will, even if you prime it pretty good too, the moisture from the paint will get into the wood and kind of warp the wood. Now with a panel like this, that's not too much of a concern because you've got this kind of reinforcement here, and then it's just got like a plywood top. But a panel like this, where it's just straight up wood, I did a pour on one of these, and unfortunately, even though I primed it, the moisture was still able to soak through, and it kind of did this thing where it warped, and it looked like a Pringles potato chip. It kind of cupped inward. I was able to fix it by laying it face down on a flat surface and putting a bunch of weight on it before it dried completely. So I let it dry with all that weight on it, and it flattened out more or less. But I'm probably not going to use those solid wood panels again, because now if this was thicker, it might not have been an issue, but this isn't really thick wood, and it's a really soft kind of pine. So I mean, I can bend that a little bit. It's a real soft wood, and soft and porous isn't good for anything with moisture, because you're going to get warping, obviously. But yeah, this one shouldn't be a problem because it's got this reinforcement here, and it's primed pretty well. Put 3 coats of primer on it, so we should be good with this one. But yeah, I'm gonna do some fall colors on this one. Probably some brown, some dark red, orange, gold, fall colors basically. And I haven't really decided on if I'm gonna do a ring pour or a swipe or a flip cup or whatever. I'm just gonna kind of wing it, and we'll see how it goes. Might turn out terrible, it might turn out great. You never know. We'll see. And so let's go ahead and get to it. Well, this one was quite the roller coaster ride. So if you saw when I poured my black swipe color, I used way too much. Um, but I was able to muddle through that and kind of, once I hit it with the heat gun, I was able to get my cells and everything to come up, and then I was able to just tilt it around to the point where it looked great. It looked great. Um, but then, and let this be a lesson to everybody who, like me, is pretty new to acrylic pouring. Don't touch your painting for a good at least 24 hours. I would give it 48 hours before you touch your painting because, yeah, I made the mistake of touching that little spot. One little wet spot was on there, you know, I touched around. This all seemed pretty dry. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I touched over here, and it was a wet spot. And I really messed that up, which is such a shame because this turned out really nice, aside from that stupid little mistake. I don't know really what I'm going to do with this. You know, there's a couple options for me to explore. One, I could just sand it off and reuse this wood panel for a different painting. That's definitely an option. Or I could very carefully go through with a paintbrush and try to fix that little spot and make it look at least halfway decent. Or I was kind of thinking maybe I could run like a nice line of glue here and throw some like glitter or foil flakes on there so it looks like there's just like a line of glitter or foil running through it. Not sure exactly how I would do that. Maybe I would run it vertically or slightly diagonally. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'm going to try to fix this or if I'm even going to try and fix it. It really is a shame because despite the fact that I used too much black in my swipe color, I really was able to turn it around and make it look good, only to make a stupid mistake and touch the wet paint. So my new rule going forward is going to be don't touch the painting for 48 hours. I'm going to set them out to dry and leave them for 48 hours and do not touch them. Because it really sucks to get a good result only to mess it up by something silly like that. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, this kind of thing's going to happen. I'm still pretty new to acrylic pouring. So I'm going to make mistakes. This is probably the stupidest mistake that I've made so far in my journey of acrylic pouring. But you're going to make mistakes. In anything you try to do, in any new skill you try to learn, you're going to make mistakes. And all you can do is learn from those mistakes. That's it. It's kind of good to make mistakes because you learn. You learn what to do and what not to do. And sometimes you learn the hard way. But, yeah, not sure what I'll do with this. I'm going to leave it to the side for a while, maybe give it a week or so before I decide fully whether I'm going to just sand over it and repaint it something else, or if I'm going to try and work with it and fix it some other way. But that's it. Like I said, otherwise, it turned out really good. Such a shame that I did that, but it is what it is. And, you know, like I said, I can always just sand it down and use it for a different painting. So anyway, that's the end of the video, and hope you enjoyed this roller coaster ride of an acrylic pour.